Let's talk about this draft possibly being the most important in the Andy Reid era. The Chiefs hosting a QB on a top 30 visit and also a former Packers safety. Cooper Kupp seeming not to care to be the league's highest paid receiver and much more. But first, how about those? What's up, everybody? My name is Cole, and I do daily news about my favorite team, the Kansas City Chiefs, and the NFL overall. So make sure to sub if you're new, hit that like button, and let's get into this news. And I want you guys to watch this clip real quick from JuJu Smith-Schuster and tell me if you agree or disagree here.
Do y'all put eggs on y'all? Do y'all, oh my gosh. Do y'all put ketchup? So ashy. Do y'all put ketchup on your eggs? Yes, sir.
Okay, do you guys actually do this? Because I'm not going to lie to y'all here, and I know I may disappoint some of you, but I do not do this, and I do not like it. Most times when I eat eggs, I'm making a breakfast burrito, maybe with some bacon, and I'm using salsa. Even if it was just a plate of scrambled eggs, I'd probably just use salsa. Is that weird? I don't know, maybe it is, but I love Mexican food, so I try to basically turn everything I eat into some form of Mexican food. Either way, let me know your thoughts on this in the comments down below. Interesting, to say the least, with Mr. Ketchup Man himself, Mahomes, on the team. And then yesterday, exactly 25 years ago, the Chiefs selected one of the greatest of all time, 13th overall in the first round of the 1997 draft, and that was Tony Gonzalez. And I've covered him on many videos on this channel, including the one you're going to see pop up right here that you can watch. It does a deep dive into his career. But yeah, he played with the Chiefs from 97 to 2008 and racked up a total of 1,325 receptions for 15,127 yards and 111 TDs. That is insanity. From there, he was traded to the Falcons during the 2009 offseason and played there until 2013, where he finished out his career. And no matter what your thoughts are on Gonzalez after he was traded to the Falcons and some of the comments he made when over there, he is a Chiefs legend and will definitely go down as one of the greatest to ever grace the game of football. And speaking of Chiefs legends, in the wake of losing wideout Tyreek Hill, senior writer for ESPN Todd McShay recently mentioned that he thinks the Chiefs need to consider trading up to grab Jameson Williams, especially if they want to get close to replacing Tyreek. He says this, quote, "I know you've got Mahomes, I know you've got other weapons and one of the best tight ends in the NFL, but to me, what makes this offense so unique outside of Mahomes is that speed on the outside to pair with Mahomes. So I think they need to move up and go get a guy." Well, Mecole Hardman was not entertained by this. He, quote, retweeted this saying, "Talk about speed and don't mention me," laughing emoji. "This season finna be so fun." So yeah, Todd McShay did mention, quote, other weapons, but didn't mention Mecole by name, which I think again is Mecole saying, hey, it's me being overlooked again. I cannot wait to prove them wrong. Some could look at this tweet from Mecole and say, wow, man, why do you feel the need to mention the fact that you weren't mentioned? Just put your head down and work, like you said the other day in your presser interview that you were going to do. But honestly, I think he's simply just using this as motivation to fuel his fire, if you will. He is fast and is a talented ball player who was catching passes behind Hill, Kelsey, Sammy Watkins, and even Byron Pringle at times. So yeah, I don't see this as him being immature, more just saying, you'll see once the season starts. But to what Todd McShay was actually saying, if we trade up for a wide receiver, I'm going to get a face tattoo right here that has the Chiefs misspelled with EI instead of IE, because in my opinion, at least, if we trade up, it needs to be for someone on the defensive side of the ball, please.
Please, Lord Jesus.
And then Matt McMullen recently said this on a recent Defending the Kingdom podcast. I want to see if you guys agree with this statement. He says, this is the most important draft in the Coach Reid era. This is an opportunity for the Chiefs to replenish this roster and set it up for the next decade. You have all these great things already, and you have a chance here to really find some impact players and impact this roster for years to come. So do you guys agree with this statement? Would you say nailing this draft is quite possibly the most important of all the years with Andy Reid on the Chiefs so far? He did mention, Matt mentioned that in 2013, that was also a very important draft year for him, as that was his first year here and a total reset year. But even if you say 2013 was possibly the most important year, would you now at least say that this year is very important? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I'd love to hear them. As usual, I read every comment and try to respond to as many as possible. And my thoughts are this draft year is absolutely critical. We need to fill several spots on this roster in the draft. We have to nail it. Have to. Obviously, not every pick is going to be a hit, but it's got to be a good percentage of them, at least to me. And then a channel called Denver Broncos 365 posted a video from Russell Wilson the other day throwing the ball to Sierra, saying Sierra could be a starting wide receiver for the Kansas City Chiefs, which I found hilarious considering she didn't actually do half bad. For one, I know she was just kind of having fun with it, but also because the Broncos have lost against us for so many years that it makes absolutely no sense for them to be talking any trash whatsoever. There were some pretty funny responses in there too. One person shared this gif saying, Denver fans after Sierra scored against them again. And another comment said, that little kid throws better than your last few QBs, which is funny to me because it's wildly accurate, unlike their previous several QBs' inaccuracy. Guys Snacks retweeted and said, and she'd help the Chiefs beat the Broncos for the 14th straight time, which is sort of crazy to think about. Like, have the Broncos really lost 13 games in a row to the Chiefs? Well, the answer is yes. Yes, they have. Just think about how sad it is for this channel to have to report on the Broncos losing pretty much every day since 2016 when Peyton Manning retired. Poor guys. I will say Russell Wilson's there. Things might look different, but still, it's been a sad handful of years for the Denver Broncos indeed. And then in some players visiting with the Chiefs news, I found this a little bit intriguing. The Chiefs are hosting a quarterback prospect on a top 30 visit on Tuesday, so yesterday, I believe. According to Pro Football Network's Aaron Wilson, the Chiefs are hosting South Dakota State QB Chris Oladokun on a top 30 visit this week. He's drawn interest from a number of teams already, as he's been rising up draft boards since his appearance in the NFLPA Collegiate Bowl. But he's still very raw and developing as a passer overall. KC isn't exactly in a position where they need to draft a QB as they have Chad Henne and Shane Buechele, but Chad Henne won't be around forever. That man is basically as old as dirt. So we could be in the market for a third string competitor with Shane Buechele, and it's possible they view Oladokun as a target on day 3 or as a priority free agent. So yeah, that's very interesting. And then the Chiefs also welcome former Green Bay Packers safety Henry Black for a free agent visit yesterday in the midst of other pre-draft activity. Henry Black is a former undrafted free agent who was able to land a spot on the Packers practice squad after going unselected in the 2020 NFL Draft. From there, he climbed the depth chart to earn real playing time for the Packers in 2021, playing in 24% of snaps across all 17 games. He ended the year with 38 total tackles and solid time on special teams. Signing Black would create serious competition for everyone below Reid and Juan Thornhill on the depth chart, knowing that further draft picks are likely coming as well. And below Reid and Juan, you have former Chicago Bears safety Deion Bush, who we picked up in free agency. Then we have Devon Key and Zane Anderson as young options on the roster as well. And the Chiefs could add another in the draft also. So yeah, interesting there. In other news, QB Jimmy Garoppolo has been rehabbing his throwing shoulder offsite per his surgeon's instructions. Garoppolo and the team are on the same page with that continuing, and he won't be there when their offseason conditioning program starts. And on the subject of quarterbacks, Tom Brady recently told Tom Van Haren of ESPN that despite retiring for 40 days, he never questioned whether he could still physically play. Brady said, "I knew my body physically could still do what it could do, and obviously I have a lot of love for the game. I think I always will have a love for the game. I do think physically I'll be able to do it. I just felt like there was still a place for me on the field. I know I don't have a lot left. I really don't. I know I'm at the end of my career. I wish you could go forever, but it's just not. And football comes at too high of a cost now. My kids are getting older, and it's just getting harder and harder to miss these things. But I wanted to give myself and my teammates and our organization another incredible opportunity to accomplish something that we'd all be very proud of. So yeah, maybe time will finally run out for Brady on the field, maybe after this season. I recently saw somewhere that they are not in extension talks with Brady, and why would you be? The man is almost 45 years old. So anyway, interesting to know and to keep an eye on there. And then since we're still on the subjects of QBs, I guess we're just going to keep going here. Deshaun Watson has recently touched down in Cleveland as the Browns made a post saying QB1 in the building. And Baker Mayfield news, there is still no trade imminent for him. The Panthers and Seahawks are still contemplating their draft plans, and reportedly there are also teams who are willing to wait until 2023 when Mayfield becomes a free agent. Obviously, Mayfield isn't expected to attend start of Browns' voluntary offseason workout program, and neither is Cardinals QB Kyler Murray, along with many of the team's veterans. They will stay away and train on their own rather than attend the voluntary workouts. This has been communicated as the plan for several weeks, and from what I read, also happened last year. So yeah, it doesn't sound much different than what Mahomes and company are doing in Texas, but for some reason, the media is making this seem to be bigger than it really is, probably because the Kyler Murray and Arizona Cardinals situation is very odd at the moment with them, back and forth. Kyler wants paid. We'll see how that ends up. Speaking of people getting paid, getting a bag, Cooper Kupp was recently asked if he wants to be the highest paid receiver in the NFL, and he answered saying, I don't think that's the approach that I'll take. There's a place you want to be. There's a place that I think is fair, but I'm not trying to beat anybody. I'm not trying to compare myself to anyone else. I like that answer. What do you guys think about this? Will Cooper Kupp become the league's highest paid receiver, or do you think he may not really care all that much like his initial comments seem to insinuate? He's certainly earned it. He's earned a big payday. There is no doubt about that. But
oh, how I wish Tyreek Hill, when in extension talks with the Chiefs, took this mindset.
Either way, it's in the past, and the draft and much more is in the present and coming up. There's much going on here in Chiefs Kingdom, and be assured of this, I'll keep you updated every single step of the way. Make sure to sub for more daily news like this, and check out this video here from the previous day's news in case you missed it. And until next time, let's go. How about those